You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might
you
grab
are
it bad,
looking
I
at
don't
the
know. My
youngest
rap, my
and
blood
fastest
boils
rising
over
star
like.
in
Oh God, here
professional
goes. I
wrestling
lost all
today.
feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you had such a fuck up real bad.
Shut up.
Wrestling fans, how are you? This is the Don of the Watch Along, BS Sports Jedi Kev. I am here with the Heel of the Ring podcast. We're going to have the SmackDown edition, but like always, the Don of the Watch Along always has his Watch Along soldiers, part of the GS Sports Jedi Network. Let's say hello individually. Let's first start off with the one and only Terrence. Salute, Terrence. How are you?
What's good? What's good, guys? Ready to go. Ready to roll.
All right. Yes, indeed. I'm going to bring in another enforcer, DMK.
What's up, Pa?
And a man who doesn't need introduction, always sharp with his tongue, the one and only, the Samurai.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
All right, let's get right to it, guys. I hope you guys are doing well. We are going into SmackDown, the August 5th edition. A lot of wonderful things in this card, in this whole event. We start off with a promo watching us of what happened on SummerSlam. We get a vignette. We're starting to see the recap of the Pat McAfee Happy Corbin, but at least a backstage segment with Ricochet reacting to that. And a match just comes out of that promo. We get Ricochet versus Happy Corbin to set it off there. I was like, okay, MK, this match to open up the SmackDown event. What was your thoughts?
I thought the match was really fun. It really showcased Ricochet's skills a lot. And I think this match went for a good couple segments, which was really good. I always am a big fan of the little guy versus big guy kind of matches. And so I thought Corbin and Ricochet really worked well together. And yeah, it was an awesome match.
Indeed there. You saw, of course, we talked about Ricochet's using his speed and his agility to frustrate the former King of the Ring early, but the big, strong former Golden Glove boxer flattened him with hard hands. And of course, we saw a couple commercial breaks where we see Corbin overwhelming his opponent, where he delivered a torture back, a neck breaker, and a lot of near false finishes. Now, when Ricochet capitalizes here and scores a win with a 630 splash, Terrence, right finish? Did you enjoy that? And then we'll throw that to Samurai. I'll go with you first.
I enjoyed it just because of how, how the storyline is going with all those characters. So, like, the finish to me was perfect because, like, your boy said as far as the finish and as far as just, like, little man versus the big, the big man complex showed. I enjoyed that. I didn't get to see, like, the entire match because I was a little bit distracted, but from what I did see, it was pretty good, man. I enjoyed it. It wasn't too long, it was cool. It was cool.
The same question, Samurai. We saw that through a 630 splash by Ricochet. Corbin now. First of all, give me your thoughts on the match and where you think Corbin goes from here.
I really don't know, but I mean, the match itself was good. He actually won with a shooting star press, but that's not the point. From where Corbin goes, I think what they're doing is they're setting up a tag team match between Pat McAfee and Ricochet and Baron Corbin and whoever he chooses, I guess. That's where I see it going. I don't know if they're going there, but that could be a possibility.
All right. We saw the hype of the crowd. The crowd actually was very hyped for this match. The energy for the opening contest. Really nice segment for starting off. Of course, every time you have a Pat McAfee involved in any of this, he's so over with the crowd. He gets everyone pumping there. Would you like to see, let me ask a round question before we move on and go to the next match. Do you want to continue seeing Corbin and McAfee? Like you said, Samurai, maybe you throw a little wrinkle in a tag with another person tagging with him, adding 4 competitors now instead of them 2. Are you guys invested on a rematch or more of these 2 guys working in a program? I'll go with you, MK, first.
You know what? If done right, I think it could be a lot of fun. And I think right now what they're going with Corbin is that he's kind of been on a losing streak for a while. And I think Pat can also... He's that type of guy that everybody really likes, and since him and Corbin don't really like each other, this can lead to, future stories down the road or future matches where he's losing because of Pat, and he's going on a downward spiral. And I think it can actually be somewhat fun. If done right, it could be fun. It'd be a fun story.
Same thing for you, Terrence. What's your thoughts on this? Are you invested, not invested, or?
I don't mind. Like, I wouldn't be mad if it continued, but I don't think it should be like drawn out, because maybe it's just like me and kind of, I guess, old school-ish ways. But I don't want to continue to see like what he's classified now as an announcer taking on a wrestler, even though the whole storyline goes as they're buddies, and which makes for it to be pretty good. But like I said, I don't mind it. I wouldn't want to see it, drawn out and continue. If done right, yeah, but I would rather for it just to be done with.
I agree with you there. I'm gonna go to Samurai question 2 with that. You want to see this drawn out there or cut short but you want to introduce now guys who could help out this feud, like a Ricochet. You might want to add maybe, another heel in there that Corbin could bring in there to just get over. Anyone come to mind that would team up with Corbin, Samurai, that you could think of that will go there, and then it's possible tag team feud?
Yes, I was thinking of Corey Graves. Because Corey Graves is not like
you hit this out of the park. Phenomenal.
It's a perfect choice because Corey Graves, he has his gripe with Pat McAfee, and if you recall last week at SummerSlam, he did mention that he was rooming with him back when they were both in NXT. So I believe it could be Pat McAfee and Ricochet versus Happy Corbin and Corey Graves possibly at SummerSlam.
That was a good nugget. MK, I saw your thoughts there.
What am I saying?
Okay.
I meant to say Survivor Series. There you go.
All right. A Survivor Series. MK, I saw you saw the light bulb go on, literally. Talk to me about that.
No, I just thought about what Samurai said about Corey Graves, which I totally forgot, because Corey Graves and whenever Baron Corbin is on TV, Corey Graves has always mentioned that, oh yeah, they're friends and always highly praised. And even after the Pat McAfee match, when Pat was doing the whole suck it thing to Corey Graves, right? And we've heard reports months ago that he was cleared to wrestle. So this could be an opportunity, maybe down the line, to do a Corey Graves Pat McAfee match down the road. That's a possibility too, maybe, or even a tag match, as Samurai said, And I think Corbin and Ricochet would be good people to have because they're dependable guys to have in the ring. So why not?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask that to you, Terrence. Corey Graves back in there, and you could see that on Survivor Series. You could tease that. You could long-term booking, Survivor Series November, but you blink and November is right around the corner. What's your thoughts on that? Do you like it, spike it, or like it, or talk? Give me your info.
So I didn't think about that until it was brought up that he had mentioned that at SummerSlam, as far as like him being like he stayed with Corbin and stuff like that. I totally forgot about that. And then also, as you can tell, as far as like how the storyline goes, Corey Graves is not like really a bigger fan of Pat, so I could see that happening. That makes some sense right there. Wouldn't be bad.
All right, we'll see. We'll see that. So we will see that utilize how it plays out with the direction going forward. Before we move on with the McAfee and Ricochet and all the scenarios here, is there any final thoughts before we move on to the next card match of the card?
Nope. We're good.
All right. So
good.
awesome. So it'll be interesting there. I am a little intrigued to see where it goes forward there. Of course, we saw backstage the Bloodline arrive to the arena in separate vehicles. You get, of course, your unified tag team champions, the tribal chief in his own. No Paul Heyman tonight. Heyman still licking his wounds from being put through the table. Roman Reigns is going to address Drew McIntyre tonight on SmackDown. So it's good to see the tribal chief there, being part of the program. And when it came back, I wanted one little thing that I wanted to add. I like the fact where McAfee and Ricochet shared throwing the Nerf back and forth.
That was fun.
McAfee, beautiful. Yeah. He signed the football and then he punted it. Man, that was nice. I liked it. That's also getting the fans and the universe, the SmackDown universe engaged and liking it. I loved it. All right, so
that was dope.
So now we go into a match here. You could say 2 out of the best of 3. If you ask me, we've seen Shitstain, or I call him. I know that, guys. I'm being funny. It's Shitstain Nakamura taking on Ludwig Kaiser. This is the third match between each competitor has a victory apiece, but there is some implication because if Nakamura wins, he guarantees a spot at Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. And for Kaiser, if he loses, he gets another verbal dress down and taking a lot of chops. We've seen even in victory, he gets the living crap out of him chopped. All in all, you see both men are going to wrestle here with a sense of urgency, a lot on the line. It was an engaging match between these two competitors. Personally, Kaiser, Nakamura, I thought the match was really good. I really enjoyed it. NK, give me your thoughts on that match between these two. The final, you could say the rubber match between these two.
I would have to agree. I thought this was one of Nakamura's better matches. And I think, this Ludwig Kaiser guy, he's really good. He's really good in the ring. Like he has that aggressiveness. He can be a really good. He's a really good wrestler from a technical standpoint. He's really good, and I thought these two really worked well together. It was awesome. It was a really good match on SmackDown. It was really good.
I'm gonna go over to Terrence. Terrence, we saw this match between these two guys. The best 2 out of 3 falls. You see all the false finishes. You see all the not much interference from Gunther. We get the victory from Nakamura, and I'm gonna send you that one, and we'll send it over to Samurai after you. Right guy winning this match here because you're telling a story and you're setting up for next week, which I thought would be Clash of the Castles, the Intercontinental title being defended on SmackDown. What was your thoughts on that whole scenario?
No, 100%. First of all, I want to say that I thought it was I think you would have made for a better match with Nakamura winning, of course, at the Clash of the Champions or whatever the pay-per-view is called.
The Castle. I know. I do the same thing. Us old wrestling heads. We grew up on Clash of the Champions.
Yeah, exactly. No, but as far as the right guy winning, 100%, because it told the story. It was building towards it. It was building towards it. Week by week. Trying to see if Shinsuke can essentially get Ludwig to get his ass kicked every week, or if he was going to get his ass kicked and not and not have to worry about being chopped all the time. But as far as like Shinsuke winning, I'm biased, so I kind of wanted to see that happen anyway because you know the potential matchup between him and Walter or Gunther or whatever you want to call him, it's gonna make for a great. It's already actually making for a pretty good storyline. So the right guy won indeed. I have absolutely no problem with that whatsoever.
Indeed. So I'm gonna go over to you, to Samurai. Samurai, I saw the right guy to you in your mind. One in Nakamura. Now let me ask you this: you've seen Imperial, that's the facet that they came from, Walter, and as well as Ludwig. Did it make sense? Because I mentioned it here, I didn't want to see them breaking them up. I want to keep them together as a group, like the kind of like the New Day. They don't have to always be tagging together. You've seen the New Day; they could go out and branch out and wrestle individually, capture individual titles and King of the Ring, and still stay together as a group. What was your thoughts here with Gunther now taking on Nakamura? I would have liked to see it in the Clash of the Castles, but if we get it next week on SmackDown, hopefully it's not a one and done. I wouldn't mind a couple matches between these two because Gunther now is starting to become larger than life Intercontinental Champion. What's your thoughts?
So that I agree with everything that you are saying. I didn't expect it to be next week. I did expect it to be a Clash at the Castle. As far as that goes, I don't know if you heard on commentary, but they did mention that Ludwig was a former two-time NXT Tag Team Champion, which to me that made me happy because like you wouldn't have heard that 3 weeks ago. I believe that they've done it. They did it twice last night too. So, but I mean that's beside the point. But the point that I'm trying to make is that I do see it happening at more than once, basically. So, let's say next week Ludwig gets involved, it's a screwy finish. So I could see it happening. But as far as them breaking up, I didn't expect it. I don't think they're breaking up anytime soon. Not with the new regime.
All right. Now, I'm glad that they stopped with Ludwig just chopping the living crap out of Kaiser every week. It could get to a course of its own. Let me ask you guys: was that part of the old regime with that booking with Vince, and now that? Create the new creative in Hemsley says, no, let's not do that because I want to keep these guys together? Or you think that just progressively, naturally just stop? Terrence, what's your thought?
Like, should it stop or should it not?
No. Do you think that was part of the old creative and booking? Or is that new now that they just stopped with the chopping? This week he did not receive anything. No verbal chops. As a matter of fact, we've seen both guys stare at each other in the middle of the ring here. As you see the picture, you see Nakamura gets the victory with in front of Shitstain, and then we got the stare down, which I think Nakamura was trying to get Gunther to laugh here, and Gunther in character, stood there. Good kudos on him.
I think it was just like a continuation of it with a little bit of the new regime, because you got to think that once this whole thing started, he who shall not be named was still in charge, and then once he wasn't, they just kind of. Although I must, but I think it's a little bit of both.
All right, I'm asked MK that same question there. Or your thoughts?
I mean, this was something that was a part of the old regime. This was a Vince thing, but I didn't actually hate it either because in a way it made Gunther seem more oppressive, so to speak, and it also gave something for Ludwig down the road to do when they eventually split. Not right now, but maybe like in a year or so, or maybe even 2 years down the road. you know. So at least this is something to add to the Gunther character, to where it's like he does not take any crap. Like, he does not allow losing. And if you lose, you get punished. This reminds me a lot like the early days of the tribal chief Roman Reigns, where if Jey Uso loses, he gets punished. You know what I mean? Like those early days of the Roman heel character, which I liked actually. You know, it made him more hateable, right? So they can still do that down the road, right? Yeah, I guess that's what I could really say about that.
All right. With that said, before we move on to this next segment, there anything else more on what's going on with Gunther, Kaiser, and Nakamura? I agree with you. I would like to see if I don't want them to split them, but if they're going to think about going in a separate or if they get stale, do it like a 2-year booking, like Warlord and MJF. It took almost 2 years before it was developing there. So if they're going to do that, give it, long term. I don't need it right away. I was afraid that was going to happen immediately, where Gunther and Ludwig were going to go at it. I'm like, no, keep these guys as a facet. But I agree with you there. But any other thoughts? Any guys?
I do. I have a thought. Yeah. I could see them going for the unified tag team championships.
Huh.
I mean, they need tag team.
They do. But right now, do you want to see Nakamura with the title? Yeah, sorry about that. I just wanted to ask that question. I want to go next. No, because the last time he held, and maybe it may be different, but to be honest with you, every time they put a singles belt to Nakamura, it's always been terrible, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He either rarely defends the belt, or it just becomes very meaningless whenever he would hold the title. Yeah, he's over, but I don't need to see him hold the IC title for the third time.
Okay, Terrence.
It has to be booked right. Like if they fight, let's just say like Guy mentioned earlier, like next week they have the match, right? And then let's just say Ludwig interferes. That could be good because regardless of the interference or not, I don't think he should win it. Like you said, a third time, but I think he should win it at least one more time eventually, just not right now. Just kind of continue to push the rivalry, the storyline, I should say, a little bit more like farther. And then on a side note, kind of involving this a little bit, I guess, I must say I thoroughly enjoyed that stare down between Nakamura and Gunther. That was pretty intense a little bit, and it was just it got me hyped for the match. Just like them staring down and Gunther just standing there all imposing and stuff like that. And then Nakamura just kind of a little bit comical, but at the same time kind of trying to make him laugh and just kind of in the same sense saying I'm ready. I'm ready for you. What you gonna do? I'm just ready for that to be I'm ready for that to happen.
Yeah, that is interesting. Any other thoughts or any other stuff that going forward?
No.
All right, I got one little thing though. I told you, and I know where WWE looks like it's heading into facets, groups. You got Gunther, Kaiser, Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion. I know you wanted to see a tag team possibly going after the Bloodline and the Usos. There's a guy down in NXT who is kicking rear end. His matches are fast, quick, vicious finishes, great suplexes, great moves there. He's kicking his coverage in NXT, in our opinion. That's Giovanni Da Vinci. Remember, he was part of the group of Imperial with them. I think you could put Ludwig and Giovanni. They have the look. Because I think Maximum Models might have seen his better days, in my opinion. I don't think they were featured this program on SmackDown. I might have missed it on my notes.
No. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna toss this real quick so we don't want to stay too close. Do you want to see Giovanni come up and be part of this, Terrence, or do you want him, if he does call up, be on his own? We watch him live. We go to NXT a lot every Tuesday night. What's your thought?
It looks like, as far as because because he's pretty good in the ring too. So as far as his character, I think he's ready. I think he should be called up. I don't think he should be part of a group though. That's just me. I think he should be called up as just like now Triple H is in charge, so of course he's gonna be booked a little better. But I don't think it should be like as part of a team with Ludwig and Gunther.
All right, I'm gonna throw that question around, but I'm gonna say this: we haven't heard him cut a promo yet, Terrence, on NXT. We might need. He's one of those that might need a mouthpiece. So right now, that mouthpiece of that group is Kaiser, because one thing I love about Kaiser, the way he comes out, stand up for your ring, hell no. I love the way he brings Gunther out. I like that hype, man, and I think we're hopefully there. So let me throw this around there. Your thoughts with Samurai on that?
I think that he doesn't need to be on his own. I mean, he can be on his own, but I'd much rather see him in a tag team with Ludwig, because they have the chemistry. I mean, if you've seen Imperium, you know what I'm talking about. But because like I said, they were former two-time NXT Tag Team Champions. Why would you stray away from that? But as far as cutting a promo goes, he can cut a promo. I've heard him cut promo before when he was baby Eichner. So he can cut promos. He's not bad at it. So he doesn't need a mouthpiece. I do think that he does get caught up, fairly soon, because he doesn't need NXT. He's too good for NXT. That's just my opinion. I'm sticking to it.
All right.
I mean, I don't know if anybody else agrees with me on that, but I'm the only person that watched NXT besides you and Terrence. So.
All right, MK. Any thoughts on this conversation here, or do you want to pass it?
I'm just gonna make one quick note about it. I haven't seen much about Giovanni Vinci. I have not seen much about him, but I will say this though: if let's say things don't go so well for him as a singles, he can always come back to He can always work back with Imperium. So there's always a go-to act for him. So he'll be better off anyways, whether he goes on his own or be in a tag team, right? So he's good either way.
All right. Anything else before we move on to the next part of the program?
No, I'm good.
All right. All right. So it was announced we have a SmackDown Women's Champion, but we do not have a number one contender. So we're gonna have a gauntlet match to determine who will be, like the New Day say, who will be the number one contender. The gauntlet takes on these beautiful ladies here, but before foremost, we get the champion coming into the ring. Of course, the champion is Liv Morgan, cuts a promo. So, and of course, you're starting to hear a little bit of a heat from the SmackDown universe because they go over the match with Rousey. There was a lot of controversy finish with Ronda Rousey's shoulders being down, referee position for the 3, but Liv tapping out. The SmackDown universe did not like what they saw there, and you're starting to see a little bit of booze and heat for Liv Morgan, and though she even addresses that. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? So before we even get to the ladies and the competitors, that's that promo segment before she was interrupted. I want to hear your thoughts, MK. I know you have a little bit of a good point here, and I'm going to give you this few minutes here of your pound of flesh. Go ahead.
So as far as the crowd booing is concerned, I don't necessarily think the crowd is turning on her fully, because this is only 1 week, so we don't know how things are. As far as Liv Morgan is concerned, she's not it. She's not it at all. I think the problem with Liv Morgan isn't so much that she isn't a bad wrestler. She's not a bad wrestler in the ring. I think she's decent in the ring and whatnot. But she's not very convincing as a baby face. And 2, she doesn't really have much of a character going for herself, other than she's pretty and she was a fan since she was a little girl and she's an underdog. She's very bland. And so when she's out here each and every week talking about, oh, I dreamed about being the champion and I was an underdog and blah, blah, that's not really much there. So I can understand why the crowd was booing her. And I feel like it will continuously boo. People will boo her down the road if there's no progression in her character. You know, not to say that she doesn't have any fans, but I feel like the promo, you know, which the one thing I will say, I like that she acknowledged the fact that I did come out lucky in the match at SummerSlam. She didn't BS with the crowd. But this isn't exactly what you would do with Liv Morgan, let alone someone who, like, this is not something that you would put someone on TV at a high level, let alone being the champion, because she comes off very bland as a babyface. I'm not saying her turn heel or anything. They need to do more. They need to reestablish her character more before, you know, things go really, really south for her down the road. So I just feel like right now with Liv Morgan, with the promo, not very good. Not very good at all. They need to really rehab her, you know, real soon. Like, really define her character more. That's all I really gotta say for her. She's not bad. She has potential, but they really need to really need to work on her character, work on her presence more. You get people more into caring about her than what she's doing right now, in my opinion.
All right, before I'm gonna send it over to Terrence with his thoughts on that. Remember, Liv Morgan, everyone, she is the number one hottest selling merchandise in the WWE. They can't keep her merchandise on the shelf. She's selling merchandise like hotcakes. Now, I don't know where you much more that you want from her besides her walking around in bowling panties that you want from her. Also, there's a storyline here that you're not seeing the big picture on it. Is that, yes, she's the underdog, and I said she's gonna have that range like a AJ Lee, not exactly, but the point is she's gonna do whatever the hell it takes to stay with that title, even if you like it or don't like it, find it whatever. But she seems that you see her Instagram or social media, she's obsessed with the women's title. She caresses it, she kisses it, she goes to sleep with it. That's the storyline. That's the big picture. She's obsessed, and she's going to do whatever the hell it takes to stay with that woman's title, even if it's doing what she did there with Rousey. They're going to exploit that going forward. I think I might be wrong, but I think that's where they're going with that. Now, as far as the promo, a little bland, when she raises her screeching, it does get a little, you know, it feels like you're getting someone raking over the chalkboard. But I think there's a storyline that she's playing that psychopath, that she's going to want to do whatever the hell it takes to keep that title. Terrence, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I guess we can all say, and we all do say, that she's not really as strong of a promo person as everybody else, because she hasn't gotten as much mic time like the normal people. She's just like, every time we see her, it's like a little few words here and there, but she's in the ring, basically. She's always like, and also I feel like leading up to when she first, to kind of go back when she won the Money in the Bank, I think the build up to that part, I think in reference to the promo last night, that lead up to that Money in the Bank and then leading up to winning the title was more, I think it was more exciting. Not to say that we might not see any more from her in the near future, but, you know, like you said, it's a storyline. But as far as like to that, leading up to her, you know, building up to winning the championship, and just kind of like taking it back, even last year, you know, when she had the match against Becky, she still had that momentum going. So when she finally won it, it was like, oh, now we can like kind of breathe a sigh of relief, and we can kind of like, you know, whoever was, say, on the train of Liv Morgan can kind of ease off a little bit. That might be why the boos a little bit happened last night. I had no problem with it. I thought it was like, she needs a little bit more work, like I said. But it's Liv Morgan, so, you know, I believe she can level up a little bit more. I did like the fact that she acknowledged that she fucked up and she, she tapped out. But it's a storyline, like you said. You know, it takes time. I'm still a fan of her, and it's not going to change with me. But as far as a reference to that promo, it was okay. You know, it'll be better, hopefully.
It's got to get better. Samurai, your thoughts?
Well, where do I start? The promo, it was not bad. I mean, she did like acknowledge the fans, and she basically said they're calling her out on her shit. But you didn't hear her say that because they bleep it out. She said shit twice. But
All right, you don't have to say it again.
hey, I'm just saying. I'm no filter here. All right. But no, honestly, like her promo, it was kind of drowned out by the boos and the "you tapped out" chants, and so you really didn't get it. Most people would have got it, but you see like where they're going with it. So I believe that they're not turning her heel yet. Then they have no reason to. I mean, I see, Ronda coming back and eventually challenging her again. We also have, the gauntlet match, which we'll talk about. So that's all I want to say.
All right. So let's talk about that gauntlet match. Before the promo wraps up, we get Sonya Deville interrupting. Now, Liv Morgan, like everyone says, oh, the underdog, the smaller wrestler, but Liv Morgan, when she stands toe to toe or face to face to these ladies, she's not a small competitor. She's taller than Rousey, taller than Deville. She's one of those wrestlers that looks like she's small but really tall, like a Theory. Theory looks. You think he's a little puny, but Theory is a big, tall wrestler, and so is Liv here. But I'll stay on the rails there. We have the match, and Sonya Deville takes on the first one. It's Aaliyah. Aaliyah comes out and the match starts. There was a quick for Aaliyah, just a quick cup of coffee in the match. Sonya Deville hits the spine buster for the victory. She gets pinned, eliminated. Outcome, Raquel Rodriguez. Now Raquel Rodriguez, the big, you could probably say a favorite here. Raquel Rodriguez doing some phenomenal moves there, using her strength, catching Sonya Deville with the Tejada bomb, getting the victory, and Sonya Deville gets eliminated in the gauntlet match. Out comes Shotzi. Now I'm like, whoa, Shotzi. We know she has some wild, crazy matches in NXT. Triple H favorite. You could say, if you could actually book Shotzi to be a queen of hardcore if you want, because she could bring it. Crazy type of matches. Although no luck for Shotzi either. She gets hit with the spinning elbow drop and get eliminated. So Shotzi's out. You got Raquel still in there, and then Zion Lee comes out. Now, I was a little bit disappointed with Zion Lee. I'll give the whole gauntlet, and then we'll critique every bit of pieces that you guys will like. Zion Lee comes out. Zion Lee just did nothing but kicks. Like, she feels like she's not invested. It shows her the way she's wrestling that this is not fun for her. She wrestles. She does a couple leg kicks. I did like her single leg crap on her, but Raquel hits her with a fall-away slam in the corner with a spinning elbow, another Tejada bomb. She gets the elimination. Out comes Natalia. Okay, now business is about to pick itself up. Natalia working on Raquel's knee and continues to work on it, soften her up. Of course, Natalia gets pinned, and of course, Raquel gets the big slam off the top ropes for the counter, gets the pin, and then out comes Shayna Baszler. Now, that match between her and Shayna Baszler going at it. You know what Shayna Baszler's background, who is her mentor, who is her teacher. And of course, we get Shayna Baszler takes a pin on a reversal, on a kind of like a bridge type. Show gets Raquel's shoulders down, and now we have them on contender. Is Shayna Baszler taking on Liv Morgan? I was like, okay, something different. Let me go with Terrence. What's your thought of the whole gauntlet match and the outcome?
I don't want to say. Well, it wasn't. Except for the first match, I think the first match of it was a little bit predictable because I don't think we saw Aaliyah eventually winning it. But for the rest of it, I actually enjoyed it. I think Triple H is really putting his foot in as far as like this women's division getting rebooted and stuff like that, and making it more competitive and making maybe not the storylines are not there all the way yet, but it's getting there. But as far as the gauntlet match itself, I enjoyed it. They pulled a swerve on me because I actually thought Raquel was gonna win it, and then like as soon as Shayna Baszler won, I was like, oh, it was like a light bulb in my head. Like, okay, she's her and Ronda, kind of like similar. It's as far as like in the ring, they're friends. They both really don't like Liv Morgan as far as the storyline goes. It was like, oh, okay, this makes a lot of sense. So it made sense to me, eventually.
All right, I'm gonna send it over to MK. Actually, I'm gonna have you go. I'm gonna have you wrap this up. I'm gonna go with Samurai because I don't want to keep Samurai always always going last. Samurai, give me your thoughts on this whole gauntlet match, the women's.
Well, the gauntlet match was kind of like I guess it was sad because it was very quick. It was quick to the point. The right person won. I would have liked to see like more time. You want to have a gauntlet match, make it seem like a gauntlet match, But as far as Shayna Baszler winning, it goes to my point, what I've said earlier. The reason Shayna won is because of Ronda, and there's an announcement coming up shortly after this match. I'm not gonna say what it is, but you know what the announcement is. So they could team those two up, if that makes sense, and then go after the women's title. You don't think so?
Oh, yeah. Go for it. No, go for it.
Well, these are my thoughts. You want my thoughts? I'm telling you my thoughts.
No, I know that. But you're kind of spoiling it with a spoiler.
No, I wasn't trying to. But I wasn't trying to at all. I don't know. Basically, I'm right. I think that the right person won, and I feel as though she's gonna win. I guess. I don't know.
All right, MK, your thoughts?
This gauntlet did two things. One thing I will say, it was quick and right to the point, and it did establish Raquel a little bit more, which is good, So it did its job with that. Shayna winning made sense because again, the tie-ins with Ronda and everything, right? And you can always tell that story well. Since you got a fluke win over Ronda, you're not gonna get a fluke win over me, right? So there's that story there. I'm just hoping, honestly, I'd hope that she wins the title in a few weeks, just so I can see all the Liv Morgan fans cry. Be hilarious to me. But yeah, that's all I gotta say.
All right. Here's my thoughts here with Baszler winning this here. I think Liv Morgan is going to get a clean victory. I think Liv Morgan is going to beat Baszler at Clash of the Castles. I would like to see
that's a nice poster.
I would like to see her take an opportunity, Baszler, to win women's title. Not at this time because she had a really phenomenal NXT women title run when she held the title in NXT. She's also another badass, but she doesn't cut any promos either. So you're going from bad to worse in promo cutting because Baszler sucks on the mic as well, worse than Liv. At least with Liv, she's selling merchandise and she's getting people. I'm not even want to use looks because Baszler is a hell of a better wrestler, in my opinion, than Liv. But I think with Morgan beating Baszler, and when I first saw, like you said, Terrence, about Raquel Rodriguez favorite, I said I could see that in Survivor Series or after Clash of the Castles, because you can't have two faces going at it so quickly because you already had a two faces kind of with Liv and Ronda on SummerSlam. So I don't know if they usually do that kind of branding. So I was like, you know what? It's a whole new regime. I said, this is where I'm thinking. That's why that light bulb came in my head was she beats Baszler and she fights Raquel. She's trying to do whatever the hell it takes to try to hold on that title. Going in that cuckoo, that Liv is going nuts, obsessed with the title, even though she's gonna cheat, do whatever the hell. Hey, work for Eddie Guerrero. They lie, steal, and cheat. And I think I think Morgan is gonna use that to her until maybe and I think they're gonna get her into some Survivor Series with the title until either she gets it or that's gonna be a one and done title range, in my opinion. There. Any other segment before we get out of here?
Well, no, I was kind of thinking like when I thought initially that Raquel was gonna win, I was thinking, and this might be too soon, Survivor Series, but I was thinking, if they had the classic, well, not classic, face versus face, Raquel versus Liv, I was thinking maybe a heel turn, but then also I thought about, okay, it might be too soon for that. So if they was to do something like that, like a face versus face with an eventual heel turn, it would have to be a little bit later on down the line. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
I also think too that Raquel, she's just been on TV for a few months. I think she needs a lot of time to cook and get some steam before we think about putting her into title contention. So that's all I would say about that too.
All right. Let me quickly address a little bit of the chat here. Bean says he would love to see SmackDown, Raw, NXT Survivor Series again. I'm all forward if they could do that, because I think we have a lot of talent, especially in the women's for a Survivor Series match there. That'd be phenomenal. That'd be interesting. And Jose Melo says, guys, I've been away from wrestling for a while. Let me know if I saw a column where Ronda hit the referee is suspended. It's just part of the storyline. It's like to take heat away from her, at least keep her going. It's part of the storyline with the suspension, just for her to don't have to book her. It's like, oh, she's she'll be back, and you want that underdog storyline, in my opinion. Before we move on here, I just wanted to go over a couple of the backstage promos real quick. Nothing to elaborate, just to bring up. You had Kobe Kingston cutting a backstage promo saying that Woods is still in recovery from his injury. He also mentioned, no Biggie either, no Woods, so he's going to hold it down. Also, we saw some bloodline interaction with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn wants to talk to the tribal chief. The bloodline comes out, doesn't allow him, says we they're giving him the runaround, say, we need you to go to production, make sure that the pyros and the crews put the music for Roman's entrance. Heyman is not here to oversee that. And we'll text you when the time comes, when we need you, and we'll tell you to come talk to Roman. So they're stringing him along, as we'll see that later on in another promo. But in another promo that was kind of teased or given last segment, they announced the women tag team title tournament is going to begin on Monday Night Raw. I wanted to wait for it for a little later, but my guys can't help themselves to keep their mouth shut. But here it is, guys. The tournament is here. They're going to talk about it on Monday Night Raw. We're starting to see an influx of women competitors in there. Are you guys excited for it? Samurai, since you brought it up, go for it.
I would, like I told you before, I wasn't trying to spoil it. I kept it, under wraps as best I could. But my question is, who do you see in this? Jesus, who do you see in the tournament? I mean, who do you see in the tournament? Like, I see, Toxic Attraction. We could see a returning Naomi and Sasha Banks. I mean, there aren't many. Well, there they are. Toxic Attraction.
Greatest faction of all time.
You could see some NXT tag team being caught up, like the Valentina and what's her name? The other one,
Julissa.
Yeah, her. I wouldn't put Casey Catanzaro and Katana Chance and what's her name? Kaden Carter.
Kaden Carter, the new women's tag team champion for NXT.
Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, would you put them in there? I mean, like, just to give it like, some substance. I really don't know who they could pair together. I mean,
look, I'll tell you at least a tag team that's not going to be in it.
Well, wow. What if they brought back Sarah Logan?
Here's a name that I'm going to throw at you. Iconics. Didn't they retire recently?
One of them is Peyton Royce. Didn't she just announce she was pregnant?
Oh, so that debunks that.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I know a great team that could probably join in. Mae Young and no, I'm kidding. I wouldn't go that far.
Hold on a second. You hold on a second. Hold on a second. We have not done this in quite some time. MK.
So you know what? You just made the list. Oh no! Oh, here we go.
You two, wait a minute. And Samurai.
Chip, you know what? You just made the list. Oh no! Oh, here we go.
But to be fair though, to be honest with you, the one thing I think about this tournament is makeshift tag team mania is going to be running wild. So that's all I can really say about this.
With these women tag team, do you see combinations of women that we never seen wrestle together before, Terrence?
Yeah, they have no other choice. Who do they have? It's gonna be. That's what. I don't know if you guys noticed. I haven't seen, except for social media. I haven't seen like Zelina make an appearance or Carmella. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because that would they would have to do that. They would have to do that to have the tag team women's division with the titles. They would have to put more women together because there's literally no, besides Naomi and Sasha before they left. There's no tag teams unless you bring up a few, which I would love to see Toxic come up there, but even that, they would have to put two women together to like form this entire tournament. They already got a few like Doudrop and Nikki,
ASH or
yeah.
ASS, or Trash.
Yeah,
Nikki
I was trying to think of the name. Yeah, they got a book all right. No, but yeah, they will have to put more women together to get this tournament, which they will, I guess, eventually do. But hopefully it turns out right.
All in all, Terrence, they have a former NXT champion with Dakota Kai, and you put her with Mia Sky or Io Sky. That I think they're the favorites going forward.
That's gonna be dope. I mean, you know what? I think that was a part of Triple H's idea, low key. Because I can't see them being in the program in a single titles program with Bianca or Liv. So that you're right. That would make complete sense to have those two team up and go after the titles, which would be dope to see those two, especially their first title on the main roster. That'd be awesome.
I have something to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to say they could bring back Tegan Knox.
Oh, I haven't seen her.
They could bring back Tegan Knox, put her with Dakota Kai. They were a formidable tag team. Who else was released recently from the women's division that they could bring back? Like I said, they can bring back Liv Morgan. Not Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan's already there. They can bring back Sarah Logan and I guess team her with somebody. Because most of the women that were released got released unfairly, I guess. I don't know who else they can bring back that women wise that they can pair together.
Yeah, but you could start pairing people up that are not being used too much in the main roster just for the tournament, just to get you some bodies into the tournament. You could see, what I'd love to see, but I guess she's with Baylor. Baylor's gonna fight for the title. You could have had Natalia teaming up with Shayna Baszler. That was a pretty nice tag team, if you ask me. Kind of like a Hart Foundation type of deal. Neidhart and of course Baylor, could be like the technician, and you could have had like a female version of the Hart Foundation between those two ladies. But she's, I don't know if they're going to be part of the program. If they're singles, are they going to be invested in the tag team tournament? That's interesting to see.
I get it. Oh, but let's see. Like who? Like you could pair. I don't want to say this because it might happen. Tamina and Dana Brooke. They could be. That's
gonna happen. Oh, you're gonna see that for sure. That they're gonna team them up. Absolutely. Yeah, no problem. MK has to go. So thank you for joining us, MK. We'll see you next time on the program.
All right, MK.
Yeah,
man,
take care.
You, man.
All right. So that's MK, man. He joins us from time to time. we enjoy having his thoughts, but he has to go. So we got to say goodbye. So he's out and about.
I mean, realistically, who else? Yeah, you could see Zelina Vega and Carmella team up again. I mean, they were,
they worked. There was nothing wrong with their chemistry.
Yeah,
no, they were good. Like I just want to see them in a more serious role. Like enough of the hokey, BS. Like let's see them actually wrestle because they can. They did it in NXT. Well, Zelina didn't do it in NXT. She was managing Andrade. She didn't wrestle up until her third month on the main roster, I think. So, I don't know. I mean, they just bring back a lot of people. Like, I wish they bring back let's see what they do as far as in the next couple months. So they could bring back Grand Metalik. I think TJP is in New Japan, so he can't come back. Lindsay Dorado, he's not signed anywhere. Like I'm just fantasy.
Yeah, you're going a little bit off the rails with that. Also, we don't want to see every week. We don't want to have them have so much influx of more new. I know. I'm just wrestlers. Because then you're gonna end up with a big roster with like AEW where a lot of guys get lost in the shuffle, and you're like, okay, then you end up at the end of the match, go, get yourself on TV, go take the picture, go take a picture, go, get your 5 minutes on camera, and it looks bad. So it's fun with the fantasy booking to bring there. Maybe you're right. Maybe they might bring these ladies in for just a tournament. Ladies down the road that I would like them, give me Diana Purrazzo with a tag team and let me put them part of the tournament, even if it's just for a night. Oh, wow.
That's exactly what I was going for. I just get caught up in my own thoughts. It's I'm talking about a few months down the line who they could bring back potentially,
but we want to talk about the tournament though. Who could be in this tournament?
That's also what I was talking about too. I mean, I don't know. I really don't. I don't know who's not being used because I don't really pay attention to the women that much because they're barely on TV. I don't mean that to be a bad way.
No. We got you. You. This is the segment sponsored by, and Samurai. You joined the Pig of the Week segment. There you go. We got the Pig of the Ring segment.
What the hell? Pig of the Ring.
That's when you have it.
Usually it's heel. So
it's usually heel who gets the Pig of the Week segment because he always got a.
Yeah. No, I mean I get it. I deserve that.
You gotta stay low key like Terrence over here. No, I'm just saying. You're good, man.
Yeah. So let's. Can we
Absolutely, we go on. So, any more thoughts of the women's tag title forward? There's going to be a lot more to unpack because, of course, it's going to be featured on Monday Night Raw. So we're going to have a lot to elaborate on. We're probably going to see the contestants, the ladies that are going to be part of it. Then we'll go ahead back and forth and do our fantasy booking when we see the brackets of how many teams are going to participate. All in all, who's our favorite? We'll wait for that to come out there, and we'll move on for the first. It's a good old-fashioned squash match with the Viking Raiders taking on some Ham and Eggers, and the Ham and Eggers, of course, gets completely squashed like they did, well deserved. But then out come Kofi Kingston with a kendo stick, and he goes ham on both of the Viking Raiders to the point where they go to commercial break, and the match was made from, I guess it was not Ibar, but Eric taking on Kofi Kingston. That was felt like old type of WWE booking where they interference and they go to commercial, and then from the break, Adam Pearce decides to make a match. I was like, cool down. Yeah. For me, it was a cool down section. Terrence, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I have to be honest with you. I completely forgot I forgot about the segment between the Viking Raiders and the New Day until the match was until the match was over, and then Kofi comes in, and I completely forgot about that. Like, I don't know, this rivalry. I don't know. I can't really get into it like I want.
I can see that. I can see that there. Especially with no Biggie, because the Viking Raiders are so big and so overgrown. Now I'm gonna throw this to you, to Samurai, because we both seen them, me and you, Terrence, up close and personal. The hell of a matches they had with the Creed brothers on NXT. Mm-hmm. There was some bad. The Viking Raiders in NXT worked. In the main roster, I don't know. Should they get rid of those shields and just go? They reminded me of Ascension. Samurai, talk to me about this rivalry and all that unpacked there.
Well, basically, the rivalry, it's kind of getting stale to a point where Biggie realistically needs to come back. I mean, I don't know if you follow Xavier Woods, his YouTube channel, but Xavier Woods, not Xavier Woods, Big E's back, like on the YouTube channel. So he's doing fine. He's okay. I don't know when he's going to be able to wrestle. I mean, I would be reluctant myself to put him in the wrestling ring after, what happened. But like he should really just like come back and do something. I mean, for me, I don't like the match between Kofi Kingston and Eric was fine. It wasn't bad at all. Like the welts on Ivar's back, wow. Like that was, that was a serious Kofi Kingston.
Oh yeah.
I mean, for me, I just can't. The rivalry it's just going nowhere at this point. Like, I don't know what they do as far as like that goes.
Yeah, it looks like it's like another tag team facet here, just to give me some tag fillers matches in SmackDown. Other than that, I don't see this ever going on a premium event unless of a titles on the line, which right now we don't see any titles on the line between these two teams. It's just going to be a similar to when we had the Brawling Brutes taking on the New Day. It's just going to run its course.
I do have I do have thoughts on what they do with the Viking Raiders. I mean, they did get rid of the whole new vicious Viking Raider thing, which is good. I think they should really realistically go after the Usos. I mean, do you think that they should, or?
Well, because they went after them before, right? And excuse me, this wasn't the new vicious Viking Raiders, as they so eloquently like to put it.
I mean, that all lasted for about a week and a half, and then they dropped it. Thank God, because like they're the same as they were when they were in NXT. They're not new or vicious. They're just the same damn thing. I
don't know why they.
Well, because they went down to NXT for a couple of weeks to have that feud with the Creed, getting them ready for the Creed to launch the Creed for becoming NXT champions. And I think Viking Raiders took go down there, help the young tag team up. Then we're kind of like a minor reinvention for the Viking Raiders. I think the Viking Raiders, you might be right. And the reason why I'm going to tease this, I think the Viking Raiders might be in line for a tag team unification title run, at least a challenge, because we saw a backstage promo again with the Usos, Sami Zayn, where this time Jimmy gets totally irate with Sami Zayn because Sami Zayn was like, you're calling them out for like pushing me around or giving me the runaround, and he got into his face where pretty much breaking the spirit of Sami Zayn. I can see it in a world where Sami Zayn aligns himself with the Viking Raiders because he's tired of the crap that the Usos are giving him, not letting him get to the Tribal Chief, and helping the Undisputed Tag Team titles lose their belts to the Viking Raiders. And we could see that. I wouldn't be surprised I know it sounds crazy, like out of all the tag teams that are going to beat the Bloodline, the Viking Raiders, but that's the kind of heat that you're not going to see it coming, and you're going to be like, son of a gun. Or am I just being delusional, or am I too much Vince McMahon thinking?
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. But also, Kevin Owens isn't doing anything. You could have Kevin Owens team with Sami Zayn.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be great.
I would think because like they do have the chemistry. They've teamed together before. They also have you know the tag team continuity to get it done. I mean, they've been friends for over 20 years. You would think that would do something, right?
Yeah. I mean, they got a lot of history, and it makes sense, you know, because again, there's another talent for the past couple of weeks that, you know, really hasn't been used in a while. So to have him, you know, get into a storyline with somebody currently who's, you know, his former best friend, I guess you can say, would be that could be potentially something I'd be interested in seeing. You know, it'll be there.
Yeah, we'll see that there down the line there. I got a comment in the chat. Let's see. It says here, Big E said he's still getting more scans around for a year mark on his neck before he comes back to the ring. He also said his neck is doing great. So yeah, I think Big E personally, it's a Royal Rumble entry. I just see it there, just to answer the comments in the comment section. But now we finally get to the final segment of Monday Night Raw, which we're gonna have the Tribal Chief makes his
Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw. Look at that, botching up. I'm hanging out with you guys too much, man. You know, I was thinking because I'm over. You know why? I'm doing my paperwork of the order of the program, and the AEW sheet comes up because you know I was gonna do a little quick run of Rampage, and I botched it. So whenever you see those letters AEW, you think of botching, and I botched it. So I called it Monday Night Raw. So blame it on that con man. You know, so it's the con man, and he's just, when you think of botch, you think of the con man there. So sorry about that, folks. And there he is. Look at that. He doesn't like me talking about him. He appears on camera. You know,
he looks so upset.
Yeah, I know. So we get he'll be all right. He'll be all right. So we get the final segment. Roman Reigns comes out when no Paul Heyman says he's hurt. You know, took the F5 through the table at SummerSlam. Of course, we hear from him. He says, you know, he has a lot of respect from Brock, but he's kind of over Brock. He respects. And out come Drew McIntyre. Now, we all know Drew McIntyre is scheduled to face him at Clash at the Castles. Drew McIntyre is hyped by the crowd, ready to go. Before, no spoilers here. I got to say that. Before we get that Roman's promo, I'm talking about Brock and Drew. Are you invested for the Clash of the Castles? Samurai.
Yes, I am. I feel like McIntyre, you know, will beat Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre will beat Roman Reigns. But then you also have the caveat of Theory in the background looming like a stalker.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it can go either way, but you know. Then there's like I said, there's Theory. We don't know where he stands in all this. With the good old Triple H, you know, being in charge, he may sour. I can't speak. He may sour on Theory as the you know as the briefcase holder. He may have him cash in and lose.
Yes.
I would love that.
Before that, we haven't seen Theory on TV this week on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown because he is going through a death in the family. His very close uncle that got him in the business and the wrestling business passed away. So it's not because, you know, if we still don't know if it's a failed cash-in. It's not a failed cash-in. They didn't address it either. They're giving him respect of being away, grievance, and being with his family and loved ones on the death of his uncle. So our sympathies with you to the Austin Theory going forward. That's why we didn't see him there. Now the promo, Terrence. I want to let you narrate here. I'm going to give you right now the host opportunity here for a quick brief second here. We see the promo. Drew McIntyre comes out. Tell us what happens after that, my friend.
So after that, so I can do it.
Yes.
Okay.
You could do it.
Well,
you could do it all night long.
Okay. All right. So, well, before then, I'll just have to say that, you know, obviously, you can see my avatar. I thoroughly enjoyed the promo from Roman itself because it wasn't long, wasn't drawn out. It was just quick, to the point. You know, before he got interrupted by the Scotsman, I just like to call him, he comes out, yada yada yada, talking about oh yeah, Roman Reigns continues to talk. He's just going to talk till the show continues over, and which he's going to essentially end up doing anyway. Before he's like, okay, let me just what, this show is almost over. Let me quit talking myself, and then try to get in and try to attempt to attack the bloodline. Okay, so he shuts up. Well, then the lights go out, and mind you, I'm looking at this like, okay, obviously it's not the Undertaker, but the freaking bird or something appears on the big Titantron screen in the back. I'm like, okay, so I have an inkling of what it could be, if I even said that right. But then, see somebody it was kind of like parched under the bird in the entranceway or whatever, and it looks like a person. I was like, okay. So then I get even more curious, and then before I can even guess myself, because the whole time I was like, I know it's not. Boom! Guess who makes his return? Courtesy of Triple H himself, Mr. Karrion freaking Kross. With a whole new haircut, whole new dude, annihilating Drew McIntyre, annihilating the guy. Just making him look crazy. And then after the entire thing, she comes and puts the freaking time thing on the ring, which obviously indicates, that time's quote unquote taking for Roman Reigns. Which, by the way, I don't think he looked fazed by the new Karrion Kross coming back, although it makes for better competition. It's fresh and everything like that. But I digress. Karrion Kross comes back, which is awesome for him. And this run on the main roster, as I said, if I'm not jumping too far ahead, I think it's going to be a lot better than his first run. That's all I got to say about that.
All right. I'm going to go right to Samurai, and I'll give my thoughts. Samurai, I know that you mentioned it last week, and I said I'm going to apologize on camera because he mentioned Killer Kross, and I go, Killer Kross and Johnny Gargano, they're not coming to WWE because if they were really that good, they would have signed already. They've been sitting on their asses for months. No one picks them up. They were really that good. I remember I'm trying to narrate the way I said it too, and I was like, enough. And my friend, you earned this few minutes. You could gloat it. You could throw it in my face. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put myself in the list.
You know what? You just made the list. Oh no! Oh, here we go.
Samurai, I made the list because you called it. Go for it.
Well, I mean, I'm always right. So, as far as that goes, I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything, man. I told you, I called it, didn't I?
You did.
Monday. I guarantee Monday, and from Cleveland, you'll hear Johnny Gargano too. I'm calling that too, because because Tommaso Ciampa has a match with Bobby Lashley, and Cleveland is the home of Johnny Gargano. But that's Monday. We'll see what happens on Monday. As far as this tonight goes, I'm elated. I can predict the future.
And this was Samurai. This was Samurai last night when he saw Karrion Kross.
I was more of the the black guy when they showed.
Hold on. You mean this guy?
Yeah. I was like, and mind you, I was driving on my way home from work and I saw it, and I kept like, oh, what the hell? Like I was going nuts. I was saying to myself this, like, shoosh. I know I gotta be shoosh. I know, and that's Samurai. They're going with the swoosh. I was like, oh damn,
man, the whole attack and everything was perfect. I mean, I wish they would have, the crowd would have popped for it. I mean, somebody said in the comments, I don't know if you're gonna read that, but the crowd, they didn't pop for it at all. I'm thinking it's because they didn't expect him to show up. They didn't expect it. They were like, "Who is this guy attacking this one guy?" You know, I'm like, I mean, when Scarlett came out, like I automatically knew because I knew the trademark music and all that.
Yeah, when that music hit, that's when I noticed it. Cause like when they showed the bird at the not to interrupt you, but when they showed the bird or whatever on the Titantron, I heard the music. I was like, that sounds familiar.
I mean, I just hope that he goes back to he goes back to NXT Cross. You know,
He is. That intro is from the NXT days. That is not his intro when he did the main roster run.
no, I mean you know what I mean. Like, you know, I mean if you have to think like. WWE really, you know, they messed up with him when he was an NXT champion. And they brought him up. They made he lost to Jeff Hardy in like 90 seconds.
Yeah,
that basically killed it. Any momentum he could have had, and that's what annoys most people about it. It's like why did they do that? Like it was because Vince didn't make it. Vince was trying to basically tell Triple H that I can do better than you can, and so. You know, it basically, yeah. Look at the old man, demented old man. Like, he made it his life's mission to ruin everything Triple H did. Like, you know, as far as like firing over 200 people in the past 2 years.
jeez.
Yeah, like everybody that got released in the past couple of years was because Vince wanted to prove Triple H that he can do better than Triple H is currently doing right now. But so far in his you know, first let's say first official week of power,
Yeah.
he's knocked out the park. He's hit a grand slam twice.
He's like I seen somebody, not to cut you off again, I'm just sorry.
No, you're good.
I seen someone on social media just like he was like somebody was like in reference to okay, Triple H is back. Let me go ahead and get my kids. Where my kids at? Let me bring all my kids back. You know, Papa H bringing his kids back. Okay.
Now I'm gonna give my thoughts there with Killer Cross returning. You know, I did see the Starcast 5, his match with Harry Smith was total snooze fest. It was bad. It was, you know, to the point was like, ugh, you know, why are they gonna? I can see why, and I mentioned that why WWE won't bring a Killer Cross back, or why what Vince saw on it. It was not a good match. But I'm excited to see Killer Cross returning to the WWE here, an opportunity, and when that music, I love first and foremost the black and white effect that they had, when you had Drew McIntyre, because I find Drew McIntyre boring. I'm sorry, I find him boring. I stopped watching WWE when they were in the pandemic and they gave him and Lashley. My God, talk about snooze fest. I stopped. I got back into wrestling. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I said I can't. You know, I've been watching this since 1982, and when these two clowns were champions, I said I can't. I'm sorry. I tapped out. I really did from WWE. I tapped out, and Drew McIntyre doesn't appeal to me personally. And I saw the black and white, and I saw the crow or the bird, and I thought I thought Scarlett was, you know how they do the CGI with Roman with the big Roman, you know, that with the computer generated. I thought that was computer generated, and when I'm watching it again, I was like, oh, son of a gun, it was actually a real person. You know, so kudos to WWE. They did that phenomenal. It gave goosebumps because it's something different. Although we can say, well, we see that in AEW and WCW. You're right, we do. But when WWE does it, they do it. They know when to do it important. They know when to do it when it's meaningful. And for me to see the attack from Killer Cross or Karrion Kross beating the crap out of McIntyre there and just destroying him, that was phenomenal. And not even getting involved with, and you see Roman just stay there with the bloodline like. They weren't even. I loved it because he was like, "I'm not face. All right, good for you. You take out my competition. it don't bother me." And I loved it because he Roman Reigns in his promo, which was dope and newsworthy, a buzz around the wrestling industry. He still looks like a badass, Terrence. I love it.
I mean,
I already know.
I don't know if you noticed this, but they did actually like unban a few words because Pat McAfee said it when it was the Viking Raiders versus the two jobbers. He said wrestle. He said wrestle, and then I think he said wrestling or something. I don't know, but
yeah, they bought some words that they're not gonna say because it is wrestling. It is a wrestling, and I'm gonna say this when it comes to wrestling, and I use AEW using that kind of a jab at WWE. All right, when you're watching wrestling, are you not being entertained?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
last time we saw wrestling, isn't wrestling considered an Olympic sport?
Yes, it is.
So it is. So you're being entertained by watching a sport of wrestling. So it is sports entertainment.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But also at the same time, like when Roman was talking about like Brock Lesnar and how he put climbing to the announce table, he also said he killed him. That was also a banned word. Like,
I mean, yeah, you're right. You could see that they're letting them be themselves in the commentary, which is good until one person says the wrong thing or the wrong phrase where they're gonna get the wrong key. There's also I see the good and the bad with it, and it's not to Vince is right. No, Vince, we could see it's working without letting them with a little bit of range. But remember, this is a $1 billion company. The WWE runs on a $1 billion company that has to make profit and share, and they can't have a negative controversy. That's why I don't think you see a lot of blood involved with the WWE with the matches, because there was a hepatitis breakthrough when the wrestlers were bleeding in the 90s. Guess what? Who has to pay for it? That's workman's comp. And I know this is boring. This is outside of has nothing to do with wrestling, but it's a money thing. These wrestlers get sick. They have a family, then that's what now WWE is liable for taking care of the whole family because they got sick, they passed diseases, open bodily fluid with blood and so forth. That's why they kind of stop it. Yes, they look cool. Absolutely, it looks cool that they see blood. But now, Moxley just comes out and cuts a promo, he's already bleeding. It's
yeah. Yeah. I was about to say, I would just kind of mention something like, how long do you think AEW is going to last with that?
Oh, absolutely. It's getting rough. It's getting now down. They're scrambling now. There's a Triple H effect that's going to take place with it. I'm going to bring that up real quick here. Let's wrap up. We'll go into the AEW. I'm glad you brought that up, Justin. I'm going to do a quick brief on the AEW Rampage last night. But before we get into that part, I like what's going on. Do you think Terrence is going to be a triple threat match at Clash of the Castle? I don't think so because you're taking the spotlight away from Drew, and especially in his hometown or his home country over in UK. What's your thoughts on that?
So that's my first time even hearing an opinion about that. I don't think that's going to come to fruition. I do see Karrion Kross getting a title shot down the line, but I would say that I'm ready to see this match happen as far as like Roman and Drew at this point in their careers, even though McIntyre is not as strong on the mic now as Roman. Roman, they fought before, but he wasn't the tribal chief. He wasn't like as established and more confident in everything that he is on the mic now as he was before. And then Drew is just Drew, But all in all, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see what's going to happen and how it's going to go down. So we shall see.
We shall see. Samurai, your wrap up here. Clash of the Castles, triple threat or one-on-one?
I do. I'm going to tell you like this. I do see a triple threat match, but at the same time, I don't, because like you don't want to like. I mean, they're what 3 weeks almost. What today marks 4 weeks until Clash of the Castle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So they had time to build, but at the same time, do you really want Karrion Kross to lose his first match back?
True. Yeah,
I mean, unless I watched another YouTuber talk about this as well. The reason Karrion Kross came back, and it was because USA wants a title.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to bring down a news and notes. Go ahead.
Yeah, they want a title on Raw, so they're gonna. I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna have Karrion Kross face Roman Reigns at a later date, possibly for the WWE Championship, and put Karrion on Raw. That's the way I see it going. Because like you can't have him hold the titles hostage. So where do you see that going?
No, I was going to bring that in news and notes that the USA Network wants to have its own champion, wants a champion similar to what they had when they had the Raw Heavyweight Champion or the Universal Champion on Raw and Heavyweight Champion on SmackDown. And I've been mentioning it for a while now. I've been saying it on the podcast that it's not working with Roman Reigns. But lately, I got to say, we're starting to see Roman Reigns at least coming promos or seeing him on camera more often. If you're going to have the unification of the titles, yes, it's great to see that because you're starting to see Roman more on television. Maybe now with the new regime, although he has a contract to it, maybe they say, listen, I got to have to see you more. Even if you don't wrestle, you might have a light schedule of when you actually get in the ring, but we got to see you more often on these shows. We got something going on, and maybe things change here. Maybe Roman says, you know what, I am going to be more involved, even if I'm not in the physicality transport. I maybe might be cut some promos, probably do some work with the crowd, get the crowd over in ring situation, but not as a competitor. Maybe he is going to fight a low schedule. I would like to see them separate the titles because now if you got new guys showing up, but you can't complain about AEW bringing XWD guys and you're giving them title shots and title belts, titles, and you're going to bring in guys from that of course they were once the XWD guys as well that were released, and you bring them into the picture and you're putting them over immediately. That's going to show they're going to want Vince back because we've been here so long. At least Vince give us an opportunity. You're bringing people from the street, and now they're getting opportunities for gold. So it's a balance of everything. You're not gonna make everyone happy. So, but you're not gonna make everyone extremely happy. It'd be interesting how Triple H looks like he's that relatable guy that will work with folks. But I hope he's not a pushover. Like and I know he's not a pushover, but I mean a pushover is trying to keep everyone happy and doing all right. We're gonna give you the title shot. What we're gonna make and get it so everyone excited. There's a reason why Vince was a hard ass for a reason. It might not make sense to us and we might get frustrated, but he had his methods and his reason. Because when you have a guy like a John Cena 20 years later, look at how we celebrate him, consider him to be a great champion. But remember when he was in the middle of his title run, everybody was sick of John Cena. I remember everyone complaining on the social media, oh, Cena winning again, squashing the career of this wrestler, squashing this one. But there was a reason why. Vince McMahon saw where John Cena had transpire and turn into 20 years later. You know what I mean? There's a reason, there's a method to a madness, and we don't see it at the moment, but we get caught up because we want to see this guy, our favorites, get over. And I hope that doesn't get lost in the shuffle when it comes to Triple H running it. But I love it so far. I mean, I'm phenomenal moves.
Yeah. I agree with everything you're saying. I mean, like as far as Triple H being a pushover, I don't think he's. He's not, because I mean we watched him do NXT for 9 years until it was killed. I don't know.
Because like I want to say pushover. I just think that Triple H is rehashing what was done for the past 2 years unnecessarily because of quote unquote budget cuts.
Yes.
So I don't think it's anything but. I don't think it's a pushover. I think he's just making everything right and not bland. He's making things more exciting again.
It is extremely exciting. It is exciting, and the pushover part is appeasing everyone. That's the and that's the pushover. It's not like saying you're gonna do it now. Okay, no, not that kind of. He wants to be appeasing and politician. Like a politician wants to please everyone across both aisles because he wants to vote. And and the honeymoon stage with Triple H, I'm not it's not a complaint. It may sound like it, but just be careful you don't fall into that spin, that hamster wheel of of going in there and trying to please everyone, because you're going to be like a mouse running around after its tail. You're not going to be able to catch it. And I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I think it's just mostly it's just going to be, I think more so of a mutual thing as opposed to Vince just being a Vince thing, most likely. I think it's just going to be like, as far as like the talents and everything, like, you know, they're going to come to like some kind of conclusion, like what kind of ideas can the talent suggest, and then what can Triple H can kind of come together and, you know, do their whole deal. But it's gonna be, you know, like I said, the first week was pretty cool. Let's see what continues.
The first week of both SmackDown and Raw ended actually from SummerSlam. From SummerSlam until Friday night, what a week WWE having. You see that influx of enthusiasm, and you know, even in the NXT level, it was enthusiastic. You saw it. We crowned the new women tag team champions, and Katana and Case Carter. And we also seen a lot of good things in NXT. We saw a lot of great matches, guys. You know, the show was phenomenal. We saw, of course, Monday Night Raw. We saw, you know, how they showcased the women with Bayley, Sky, and Dakota Kai. You know, with Bianca Belair getting help from Asuka, and or what's her name? The little one. I keep counting on Liv Morgan, but it's Alexa Bliss. They're confused the living crap out of me, both of these girls.
They should be a tag team.
My question is for you. Do you see Legado del Fantasma being caught up after this?
I think so.
Tony D.
I think so.
I meant to ask you that because I saw you did the review on NXT without me. So.
Yes, we did do that. I had good job for my guest. We took care of that. I actually did that alone. There was a reason why I did alone. There was a reason. I had a personal attack. That, you know, the Don has to sometimes roll his sleeve on his own and go after someone who wants to talk about bread and talk bad about my NXT. When you go to NXT and you invest your time and you're watching NXT and someone goes on another program to bash it and say how terrible it was and lie about how the crowd was, I gotta go on it. I gotta put up my sleeves and you know, sometimes take a tire iron to the back of the legs and make a statement. Put him sleeping with the fish, hopefully. Right, Terrence?
Hey man, whatever he said is not true. That live crowd, especially. I'll point out two moments, not to go on too much, just two moments, real quick. When KC and Katana won, and then compared to when that Quinn match happened, two completely different reactions. KC and Katana won, that entire place went nuts. I never seen anything like that. Now, Zion Quinn, when he fought, it was like crickets, in my opinion. That's all I want to say. But NXT is live. It's live, for real.
It's live, it's loud, and I'd love to see the ladies. You know, they came right through my eye with the one with the gold right through me. That was awesome. I was like, yes, there she goes. I was like, yes. But all in all, man, what a week for WWE. I'm invested. You know, if the ratings are up, you can see, you know, Raw did like 2.5. Samurai, I know you texted me that. You tweeted that out. The numbers from Raw.
Yeah, it was like 2 point something. I think it was like 2.53 million.
It was up there. I would like to see what SmackDown did last night. I think that, you know, it's gonna get high numbers there. It's one thing I gotta say, stock down, guys. It was that Houston crowd in Monday Night Raw. They were bored. They were.
Oh my god.
They were terrible.
Dead. Even I think it was more evident between the Bianca and Sky match, because you know that if that would have been like any other place, I guarantee you that crowd would have been a lot more better than. Oh, they killed me, man. Let's not talk about that.
The crowd was bad, but I want to also give up a note here that I was proud and thumbs up was last night on SmackDown. We had two of our own NXT referees in SmackDown refereeing the matches. We saw you had the bald headed African American man, the black guy. He was there, and the Indian, they were the referees. They refereed quite a few matches. I was proud. I don't know their names. Apologize for not knowing their names, but I know they're NXT reps, and they're really, and I was so proud of seeing our NXT reps there on SmackDown getting the call. It was exciting. It was, of course, it was South Carolina. Now that's a hop, skip away, a couple hours away from Orlando, from the Performance Center, but good call up. Hopefully that's a call up for these officials, because we've seen some young officials as well in NXT. You have the young Indian referee that she's really good. You have the young Hispanic kid with the similar haircut with the fade, who does some good matches there. I love to see that, not just the wrestling talent, you're starting to see the officiating also getting the opportunity. So I wanted to shout that out tonight for SmackDown.
Yeah, that was nice. I didn't even notice that. I got to go back to some of the highlights.
As soon as I saw it, I told my wife, "Oh, look, that's the NXT ref." It goes, "Yeah, It was. I was. I don't know. I marked out and got excited for the refs. Don't ask me why. It just, I know, because I guess you see them.
Things.
Yeah. I see them grow up. You see them where they were when they in Orlando, and you were just a couple days they were in front of you live in person. You see them now in national televised. You feel good. I know you feel part of it. I guess that's the experience when you go to NXT live, folks. That's why I tell you guys, if you guys in the Orlando area or going to visit, and you want to take the time off from the mouse of the house where you're going to spend almost a mortgage payment to go see the Mickey Mouse, come and take a Tuesday night, come watch NXT. Get on the list. I don't think it's going to cost you as much money, or maybe not enough money to come watch NXT live, and you're going to really enjoy yourself for at least 2-3 good hours of solid wrestling. Yes, it's only 2 hours tape, but you also have a live level up prior to that, and it's phenomenal. You get to see good people. I had the grace to meet Terrence there, and now look, we're talking wrestling here on a program. NXT brought good friendship. And it is phenomenal. NXT, not just that. I also marked out Terrence. I got to see Carmelo Hayes on Tuesday night. I put the video on the Facebook page. I asked him, "Hey, say hello to King Heal the Ring podcast." He came up, took pictures. Awesome dude. I'm a Carmelo Hayes mark.
Time out. Hold on 1 second. I don't mean to delay the broadcast a little bit longer, but when did this happen? When we were getting on the bus, he was going home with his bag, and he stopped and he took pictures with us. Oh, okay. Something like that. It didn't happen to me, but like it was one of those shows where you stayed after, and then like you're one of the very few ones left over. Because like I seen Trick, we saw him leaving out. He took a few pictures with everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He was phenomenal. He was awesome, and he was in it. Plus, it was his birthday too. He didn't have to. He said, and then he was such an awesome dude. We also saw Javi leaving the arena. We saw the of course Santo Escobar in his bright rusty orange Charger, beautiful car, passed right by us. Yeah. So you get to see all those things in NXT where you don't get to see much when you go to the big roster or when you go to the small SmackDown and Raw, because they're in the big venues and they totally away from us. But I digress. We get back to the program here. I'm just going to go over a quick Rampage real quick. News and notes there. We have Rampage started. We had Moxley taking on Vance Warner. Warner was an MLW regular. It was a good back and forth match between them. A lot of exchange. It was a little bit of everything. You had brawl. It was more brawl type of match. A few wrestling moves from here and there, traditional. You saw some good Moxley getting a suplex on a steel chair. That was a great bump. Good opening match there. Well, the only thing I have a problem with AEW is they don't sell their other guys' offensive moves too much. And too many kickouts. They don't make the moves. They don't sell the moves so strongly. But Moxley wins on a choke. And when Moxley won on the choke, I was like, okay, what? That's it? That was the end of the match? It's like you kicked out of, right? Yeah. They even hang it because you kicked out of all these incredible moves and you close the match with that. I'm like, okay. But all in all, Moxley, the interim champion, you see him too much on TV, in my opinion. But it is what it is there. I'll go to another match real quick. Tonosuke Takashita takes on Ryan Nemeth. Who's Ryan Nemeth? I don't know. Some other Hammernager. Of course,
No,
Moxie?
he's Dolph's brother.
Dolph's
I
brother.
about
I
to say
know.
that last name sounds familiar.
Moxley got busted open again. Actually, it was Warner who was busted open. Yeah, and the thing is, he bit him and he saw blood on his mouth. I'm like, dude, don't you know there's diseases? I'm surprised with all the COVID and the monkeypox and all this other stuff. With all this stuff that we went through, they're allowing that interchange of blood or fluid allowed there, and it looks great. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound like an old man get off my lawn, a potty pooper, but it is what it is. That's what it is. But we saw Takashi win. He gets a true blue thunder bomb, and he gets him with the knee, and he gets the victory. So we get that. That was good because it's going to set up, because tonight Battle of the Belts will be coming on within an hour. I have a little review on that. Then we saw the women's match. Now this took the women's match back to the 1980s. That's how bad this match was. You saw Layla Gray taking on Madison Ray. Madison Ray was the big announcement from AEW. We signed a women's coach. We signed this. She's going to be part of the women's coach. They made a big deal about her. She wants to get an in-ring match here with Layla Gray, and this match was very sloppy, very cringeworthy, terrible. It was, my God, the type of match you go get food, you go get drinks, you have to go to the bathroom, you go urinate, you go walk the dog. It was that bad. It took the women's wrestling. It took the women's match. It totally was a terrible, terrible match. And and it sucked to see that. To see that there, it was sad. We get Rain win. She gets her victory, and we had Jay Cargill come out with Stokely Hathaway was there already, and Stokely Hathaway, formerly known as Michael Bivens from NXT. He was the manager for Layla Gray. He was at ringside. He was the only person that was actually hyping the match up. You saw when he tried to get the clap going, no one clapped. When he tried to jump down the stairs, no one chomped. I want Mr. Met, the NXT enforcer, Bobby, Mr. Met, to go out there. When he says clap, we all clap in NXT.
Yeah. I can imagine that. I can imagine that too. As soon as you said it, no one clapped.
So we need Bobby, and then we don't want him to leave to AEW, but we need Bob. We need a Bobby there for NXT for AEW to get them clapping, because that was a bad match. All in all, Jade Cargill comes out real quick. She talks about an open challenge. Now, when you have an open challenge, you don't pick your opponent. You wait and sit back and wait. Who is your opponent? So she did a women's open challenge on Dynamite, and then she says, "You're gonna fight me, Ray." And I was like, is that really an open challenge, or you're picking your opponent?
Ain't no open challenge.
It's not. And of course,
I like her, but what the heck?
Hey, I like her. She's eye candy. Not for nothing. Yes, put me the pig of the ring. What you call it? Noise there. Bleep bleep. Oink oink. But she's the profanity's got to tone it down a little bit, because it doesn't look cute when a woman goes on a profanity tirade. Just me. It's just me. Maybe call me old-fashioned. But am I invested for this match on Wednesday night? I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to go looking for Kate Cargill, taking on Madison Ray. No, I'm not invested there. So then we have the tag team. We have a street fight tag team, of course, Swerve and Keith Lee. And I was not invested either. I looked at that. I mean, it was chaos. It was all over the place. Tony Nese and Josh Woods, former NXT wrestlers. There was a lot of violence. You saw tables. The one thing I couldn't get, if you're Woods and you got two tables and you're gonna suplex a 300+ pound Keith Lee onto the tables, guess what? He's gonna land on you, you moron. Because he's over 300 pounds. Why are you doing this? And he knocked himself totally out of the match. And that's it. They were done. And we get Swerve, get the victory on Tony Nese, gets the pin. Before that, you saw Tony Nese. I don't know why he had protein powder thrown all over Keith Lee's face. And then he started eating the protein. It was like, okay, what the hell? What's going on here? Oh, my God.
It sounds like Vince booking.
It was like, what the hell is going on? But it was a fun match with the violence and the open challenge, no disqualification. That I could say it was good, because there was so much moving parts with it. It looked good though. As much as it sounded like I'm criticizing, it looked good. But there was moments, like I said, why are you gonna try to German suplex a big 300-pound man when belly to back when you're gonna be the one receptive, not on the table, but that big guy is gonna be on top of you? That was kind of stupid, in my opinion. There, and they try over and over, and you see him he's holding Keith Lee, trying not to get thrown. I'm like, abandon it, man, because it's not gonna go well. But all in all, the end of the match that ended. And Rampage was SmackDown was better. You know, when I do these reviews, sometimes I'm about solo when I do this, and I always say, last few weeks I had Rampage over SmackDown. This week, hands down, SmackDown. Two thumbs up better than Rampage. Rampage was just, you know, if the numbers were bad last week, I can imagine the numbers this week. It was not good. Unless the wrestling fans were so excited and hyped up for SmackDown, they go, you know what, let's get that. And they felt charitable and went over to AEW. That's the only way I could see they had that big number. But Will says here, yeah, and then he was knocked out cold. Like Bean said, he was knocked out cold when Keith Lee landed on him. Yeah, it's like, you know, ooh, you know, head scratcher there. Battle of the Belts will be on at 8 o'clock. You have a quick rundown of that. If you want some, have some spoilers. So if this is a warning, if you don't want to hear the spoilers, you got TNT champion Warlord taking on Jay Lethal. It looks like it's going to be Warlord retaining here, hitting a powerbomb. You also have the AEW champion, women's champion Thunder Rosa, along with Toni Storm, defeating the beautiful Jamie Hayter to retain the title. And Ring of Honor champion Antonio Cesaro Claudio Castagnoli. He's going to take on Kotansky Takahishiki. And it looks like, of course, we know that Claudio just got the title. No way he's going to drop it to Tokeski, so he retains. So that is Battle of the Belts. Sorry, guys, I'll give you a spoiler. Saturday night. Enjoy. Go have a dinner. But that is the Heel the Ring SmackDown Rampage report. Now, guys, I want to thank you guys for joining me. Yeah. Any final thoughts? Terrence, give me your final thoughts here. What are you looking for? Are we going Heat Wave?
Hey, man. Oh, yeah, Heat Wave. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's going to be cool, man.
That's 2 weeks. Cool. 2 weeks from now. Yes, indeed.
It's coming fast too, but all in all, man, I'm excited for the entire everything that's Triple H and NXT and everybody's doing together. I'm excited for everything. It's a refresh.
All right. Sam, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say I haven't seen. I've seen you, but I haven't seen Charles. Is he okay?
Yes, Charles just emailed me. He's around. He was going to come on, but last second. He's fine. He had to do one more thing. He emailed. We're back and forth. He'll join us. He just schedule and sync with us. We're trying to get synced.
No, it's all good. All right. Well, that's everything, right?
That is our program. Heat Wave will be not this Tuesday. The following Tuesday, there's going to be some setup for Heat Wave. For NXT, I believe it's Cora Jade taking on Zoe Stark. That's gonna set up. And you're gonna have I don't know if is that on Heatwave? Refresh my memory. Is it gonna be Tony D'Angelo taking on Santo Escobar? Is it this Tuesday or is that for Heatwave?
They had a picture of them two together on NXT. I think this Tuesday. I don't think they mentioned anything for Heatwave. Although it will make sense, but I just saw it for Tuesday.
All right. We'll see for Tuesday. We'll be there. I already made my certification to be there. I'm going to be there front and center, and I know Terrence will be there. Hopefully, we could somehow get the seating where we could be again sitting, because it was fun when we all sat together in the row there. That was cool. We were laughing our butts off. Although Terrence had the good seats though, but he has the seats where Zion Quinn tends to.
Yeah,
I was about to say, you gotta move, buddy.
I was about to say he was fighting this week, so I ain't worried about that. He was fighting that week, so he had to, even though I don't know if he won or lost, I don't know, but he ain't taking my seat.
No, he took a loss. He took a loss to
Quincy, right?
Quincy. Yeah, that was a shocking one. That was shocking. I was shocked there.
Dude, like I don't know. I wasn't really shocked because again, I'm just kind of getting introduced to the whole NXT part of it. But I've been seeing those two fight, like separately against other opponents and stuff like that. So, they're pretty good in the ring. So I can't really see like an upset per se. or or shocking thing, if you want to call it. But it was pretty cool, man.
I remember a match that's going to happen. It's going to be a rounds match. It's going to be Wesley taking on Trick Williams. It's going to be the old-fashioned European style. They're going to have 6 rounds, and they're going to have either wrestling, like a freestyle type of match there, wrestling, whatever, fighting, whatever the case is. And of course, Carmelo Hayes is going to be on Trick Williams' corner. I'm making a bold prediction: the return of Nash Carter. That's coming from me.
I think Nash Carter is returning.
They return. I think he will be returning to NXT to help his buddy, and I think that's going to happen. Just me. I'm going on a limb. I think we'll see the return of Nash Carter in NXT this Tuesday.
I agree with that because, Nash Carter was wrongfully terminated for something that was stupid and happened a long time ago.
Yes, that's indeed. And let's see. Hopefully that wins there. I can't wait for NXT there. I think that there. It was something else that I wanted to say. News and notes. I wanted to make a prediction, but I just totally lost it when I saw the Nash Carter. I lost train of thought there. Other than that, I still see call-ups from NXT going to the main roster. I guess who knows going forward there. I still think Tiffany Stratton they're gearing her up to get the call-up. Don't be surprised there. I can see that going there going forward. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see there. But yeah, I think Nash Carter returns. I think that place is gonna pop, Terrence. I know me and you probably weren't. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with Nash Carter. I just knew what happened.
The same thing too. Yeah, I didn't know because I know I seen Wesley like a while back, like when I kept chiming in a little bit to see what was going on with NXT. I kept seeing them with a tag team partner and stuff like that, but I wasn't completely sure what happened with that whole deal.
Indeed. Any other news and notes there, Samurai? That anything that you've seen elsewhere?
I don't know anything. I'm not off the top of my head, but the ratings for Raw. Raw were surprising to me. SmackDown, I've yet to see those, but when I do see those, I'll let you know.
Yes, we'll definitely keep an eye on that rating system for them. Other than that, I think that's everything. I don't think I know I had something else. I had a nugget there that I wanted to go on a prediction, but it just totally escaped my thoughts and my mind. It was someone that we're gonna see personally. I think we're gonna see in the WWE eventually. Oh, here it is. I got it. There it goes. It had to pertain with NXT. We saw that they were building up no Roderick Strong with Diamond Mine. He was running late. Will there be a dissension there with, of course, Diamond Mine? That's coming. Don't be surprised. We also saw on Dynamite where we saw the Young Bucks get turned on by Undisputed Elite there. We saw Riley, Fish, and Adam Cole. Cole said he's not eligible to wrestle yet. I can see when the time comes for those in the pay-per-view in a couple weeks or 4 weeks from now, when he says I won't be able to wrestle, but I'm going to do like Daniel Bryanson. I'm going to bring a person to take my place, and it's like family, whatever the case, that is just like myself, that I could trust to go out there and win and participate in the trios title. And I think it's going to be Roderick Strong. I think Roderick Strong will grant his release. I think Triple H said, why would I have someone who's going to be miserable in NXT, who doesn't want to be in the company? Of course, he wants to be with his buddy, and also wants to be with his wife, Adam Cole, and so forth. Not Adam Cole, Maria Shafir is his wife. I don't want to make it sound like they're a couple. And I think, I think he wants to go. I think he's going to screw Diamond Mine some way, somehow. And I believe he's going to be gone, or they're just going to get rid of him. And I think he'll be the one person that's going to take Adam Cole's position in that trios match and go forward in that tournament in AEW. And I can see that. That's my prediction. I think I smells it. I have a feeling there because he doesn't want to be there. Did you remember, Terrence? Did you remember when it was his birthday? That just his acknowledgement, just put 2 fingers up, like instead of turning around, say thank you, like a whole. It was just like whatever.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but you guys had mentioned that, and I was like, oh.
Well, I mean, I think that, you know, he was just, you told me about that. He was trying to just, you know, be professional, I believe. He didn't want to, like, acknowledge it outright. But, you know, I think he was very happy that people knew his birthday was that day, which was, what, last week sometime?
Yeah, 2 Tuesdays. Last Tuesday was Carmelo Hayes, and he thanked us all. He actually thanked. He gave it. Yeah, it was a different thank you from Carmelo Hayes to. Yes, it was true. It's true, Terrence. It was true.
We kept chanting like "Happy Birthday." It was dope, man. You know,
that was dope. NXT gets it. So that was my thought there. I think Roderick Strong goes to AEW in September. I think he finally gets his release. I think Triple H makes him happy because guess what? You go sign a smaller contract. If it doesn't work out, you have the doors open. And I think that's what Triple H is doing, not burning bridges, and keeping the cat. You know, he's not going to give everyone that wants a release, but he's going to want to work with them. Remember, this is you never burn your bridges. You never know when you need to cross them. That's a lesson in life. Yeah,
exactly. I agree with you. No, I actually thought you were going to say, you know, Jay White.
Yes,
I thought you were going to say him because that'd been pretty good. Jay White taking Close place.
There's talks now which I keep saying that Impact Wrestling is going to be catching up to AEW soon in the near future. But it all depends on the money and the TV contract or what they're able to pay their performers. And of course their ring ability. But I could see a Josh Alexander in an NXT getting a contract, wrestling in NXT, getting that, especially the way they try, not similar to Black and Gold, but that kind of momentum. Where NXT going forward, developmental, yes, but bringing in some guys there for just to be part of the ratings if he's not happy in Impact. Also, who was a free agent, and I keep saying it, and coming November is Diana Purrazzo. She's just getting married. She's just about to get married. And speaking about marriages, salute to it's coming out I think tonight or tomorrow. It's Ty Conti and Sammy Guevara tying the night as well. They're getting married. They have the reception photos all over the internet. The reception is happening. This is taking place in Orlando, by the way. They live in Orlando. This day, they live in Orlando. Don't be. And I keep saying it. I won't be surprised if Ty Conti and Sammy Guevara ends up in the WWE along with Ricky Starks. You saw with Ricky Starks. By the way, thank you for bringing that up. Myself, Ricky Starks cuts up, goes in the back on last night's, and all of a sudden he gets meted by a bunch of jobbers there. Boy. They are copycatting and riding hard on the fake Tony D'Angelo gimmick. As a fellow Don, that pisses me off.
I didn't see it, but AEW rips off pretty much everything.
They had a guy dressed up. They had a guy there, all greasy looking, dressed up like a fake Godfather with the blue Dumb and Dumber suit. And then they had our guy Stacks. Is it two dimes there? I'm like, doing nothing. I'm like, dude, you're in another facet with a fake AS Tony D'Angelo. Come on, kid. Really? Wow. This is where I'm like, I felt so bad for him. And he was with and Ricky Starks just blew him out with his promo. Ricky Starks, another one, his contract is up. His contract is up any month now. And he's due in 2022. That I know because he signed back in 2018. So usually the AEW gives you 3 or actually 2019 they give you 3-year deals, and then it's rare. Lately he's been doing 5-year deals for the new talent, but the old talent only has 3-year deals. And I think Ricky Stark's contract is up anytime now. So he's that was the Walmart. You saw that, Beans, right? Tell me you saw that Walmart version. That was the Wish app version of Tony D'Angelo. My God, that was a bad one. And I know his name, but it's escaping me. Of the guy here, instead of wearing a regular tracksuit, he was wearing a bowling shirt. The guy was like, oh, it's like it was bad. It was like, it was bad. It was like, holy crap. But all in all, so let's leave it there because we've been almost 2 hours going long. When we talk wrestling, we go to the moon like Cameron Grimes.
We could go on and on.
We could go on and on, but Terrence. Always a pleasure to have you, man. Always a pleasure seeing you on Tuesday night. If I'm early on that line, you don't even have to ask. Just come on over, bro. Don't even have to ask. Come on over. I try to get there early so we could get the seating, and we definitely wait to see you Tuesday night. Samurai, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us here, giving us your insights, jumping the gun, but we love you, bro.
I thank you. I mean, this is like, this is my thing, man. I'm just, trying to, help out as best I can.
Now, if Johnny Gargano comes up, boy, you're gonna be, you know what? I gotta give it to you. So I hope this image comes to you when Johnny Gargano comes out. with a beer in the hand, though. I'm mean, like, freaking samurai, he got me again. But all in all, thank you guys for joining me this edition of AEW Rampage SmackDown. It's fun. It's always fun to talk wrestling, to have good for myself with a good with guys. Thank you, MK, for joining us. I know MK is on a TikTok time limit. He's just like like Otis, who only gives you one good strong hour, and he's got to go. He's got things to do. He's got money to make. He's always So all in all, man, thank you guys again. Remember, get over in life. Always pin the situation. Don't get pinned by life. Get over and get the pop going. Beans, I gotta admit, I forgot to send you the email, Beans. I'll make sure I get you on this podcast. We got to get Beans on for the Monday Night Raw. I gotta admit, you did send me your information. I gotta be the one to own it up. But thank you so much. We'll get you back. We'll get you on to join us to talk to Beans. Beans has been coming on with us in the commentary. Thank you, Jose Mello. Thank you, everyone that joined us, and those that are gonna watch the podcast later on. We thank you for all the overwhelming success. Thank you for the 1K strong and on the podcast we see after the fact. Thank you. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome! You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might
you
grab
are
a bat,
looking
I
at the
don't know, my
youngest
rap, my
and
blood
best
boils
rising
over
star
like,
in
oh God, here
professional
goes. I
wrestling
lost all
today.
feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show